Hey class, welcome to lesson 6. This week is all about goal setting. And I brought you to the garage today to talk to you about one of my most recent goals. So this last summer, my wife challenged me to do a triathlon. So you guys know, I've kind of shared a little bit with you, but I've been running for about 2 or 3 years. I just kind of picked it up. It was something I had to do to get healthy. My health has been in bad shape. Mostly because it's genetics. I have really high cholesterol and I have really bad problems with blood sugar and other things, so I started running. Well, so this year my wife challenged me to a triathlon. Now, my wife is a swimmer naturally, and so she picked up triathlons pretty easily about 10 years ago or so. And she challenged me this year. So you can see these are my bikes. So the reason why I bring this up is it was all about goal setting. That was the only way I was able to really accomplish what it was. And I finished second or third. I can't remember. I was in the top 3 of the triathlon that I finished for my first triathlon. And it was all because of goals. So this week we're going to talk about how to set goals. This is probably one of the most important lessons we're going to learn this year in this class. We're going to set goals multiple times throughout the semester, and this is going to be your first attempt. And I'll be honest, not many people get 100% on this first round of goal setting. This is something that I'm going to take off points until you get it right. I want you to get this right. I feel like the thing that I have to offer you in this class more than anything else is to teach you proper goal setting so that when you leave this class, you are a goal-setting fool. You just have it down pat. So, we're going to use SMART goals. SMART goals, this is what they call an acronym. SMART. So, for my triathlon, I had to get a goal. It was specific. That's the S. So, for my specific goal, I wanted to finish in the top 10. Well, guess what? That was a bad specific goal. Why? Because I can't control what other people do. I can only control what I do. Okay, so I had to go back to the drawing board and think about what are my specific goals. So my specific goal was I wanted to finish under an hour 20 minutes. So I had to break that up into much smaller goals, right? I had to figure out, okay, this month I'm going to bike 30 miles a day, or this week I'm going to bike 3 times a week, no less than 15 miles a day. Very, very specific. So if you notice those, they'll have numbers, right? Because when it's that specific, I can actually measure it, and that's part 2. Okay, so SM, the M stands for measurable. That means I have something that I can track, something that tells me how do I know I met my goal. All right, so with my SMART goal, right, my specific goal was to bike 3 times a week for 15 miles a day. Okay, that's specific. I can actually measure that. So how do I measure that? So I have an app on my phone. I'm talking this out to myself. I'm like, okay, I'm going to set goals on my calendar. I'm going to check them off my to-do list. And that way I know when I have done each one. And when it's all done, I'll enter all of the things into my phone and it'll tell me whether my goal was met or not. Okay? That's my measurable plan. And when you write your goals this week, I want you to be that specific. I'm going to hear whether or not you have a plan. Okay? That planning and measuring is a really important part of goal setting. A stands for attainable. It could also stand for obstacles, right? It could be an O if we wanted it to be. But the attainable or obstacles are what typically impedes or prevents me from meeting this goal. Okay, I really want to evaluate that because if I don't normally do this, why? And if I understand the why, can I plan around the problems I usually have? Right? Is it my time that's the obstacle? Is it the fact that my bike is breaking? Is it the fact that my family has a really crazy schedule and I've got to squeeze it in? If so, I've got to think of what are all of the possible problems I could be faced with. So that's your A, attainable. What plan are you going to put in place to make sure the obstacles don't prevent your meeting the goal? Another person that I follow a lot, they say a big part of attainable is creating the habit. And this is something that I'm really, really big in right now is I am going to create a chain link. And each day I'm going to create a new link and a new link until I have this chain, right? Just like I have a chain on my bike down here. I don't want to have a weak point in that chain. I want that chain to go all the way through. If I miss one day or one thing, my chain kind of falls apart and it's a really weak point. So try to create a chain. You're going to create very small goals that should happen in a small period of time. They should be things that happen every day. So figure out a way that you're going to have that happen every day. You work out your schedule, figure out what those obstacles are. R. R stands for relevant. This is the why. Why am I doing this goal? What is the value to me? This is you trying to understand in your head what are the things that are really important to you. Do you understand who you are? Another goal setting thing that I've read is you make statements that say, I am the type of person who, right? I'm the type of person who, even if I get home at 8 o'clock at night, I'm still going to run my 5 miles. I'm still going to swim. I'm the type of person who wakes up at 5 o'clock to get in my extra 10 minutes of swimming that I have to swim. So that's your relevant. Like, try to figure out what is the value to you and really explain to yourself why this is important and use that as motivation to do your goal every day. Okay, the last one is time bound. The time bound thing in this class will take care of itself. Most of the goals, most of the assignments we have for you will be goals that have to happen in the week. So we want you to set this goal. It'll be 1 week long. What is the time frame? In fact, if you really get good specifics, how much are you going to do? Is it going to be 5 minutes? Is it going to be 10 minutes? S stands for specific. Write your details. M stands for measurable. Write your plan. How are you going to know when you're done with your goal? A stands for attainable. What are the obstacles that are in your way? R is relevant. Why is this important to me? I am the type of person who does what? And then T is time bound. By what time will this happen? How long am I going to do it for every day? Be specific every step of the way. All right, this is a bit of a longer video than normal, but I really am passionate about this. I'm going to leave you some links to other people, other videos and podcasts that I think are really great for goal setting. You can use those in your listening and speaking logs as the extra things that you do and you spend your time with. Please, please, please take your time to write a good goal. Now, if you're great at this, you're going to end up becoming successful no matter what you do. If you're not yet, let's practice here safely in class. Don't worry about losing points. Worry about learning this skill of goal setting. It is one that I know has pushed me. I started off as a teacher and became an administrator in a school district, and it was all because I had goals. When I was a kid, I was a Boy Scout, and I wanted to earn the rank of Eagle Scout. And my dad and I worked on goals. We set goals, and I earned my Eagle Scout when I was 14. When most of the boys in my troop in my church earned their Eagle Scout award when they were 16, 17, and 18. Goal setting, I have a testimony, can get you places. Our Heavenly Father needs people who are motivated, who do things and get things done in their communities and in their families. And that is the reason why we have this goal. It is my testimony, and it's the thing that I hope to pass on to you guys. You're doing great in class. Let me know. Use WhatsApp if you have any questions along the way, and let's have a great week. And get to it. Good luck, everybody.